the world would sing, and your dreams came true. Now imagine experiencing a life-altering health challenge with mounting medical bills that your share of royalties from that hit song can barely cover. The year? 1970. The songwriter? Nadine McKinnon. The recording artist? Donny Hathaway. The song?
Hang on the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas.
A match made in heaven. Nadine McKinnon and Donny Hathaway. To date, over 300 artists have covered This Christmas. Unfortunately, because of industry practices and standards in the early 70s, Nadine McKinnon failed to protect her interests and did not benefit financially to the extent she should have. As we know, history is littered with countless untold stories of the accomplishments of hidden black female figures. For over 50 years now, we've been inspired by this heartfelt Christmas classic. Due to a sudden debilitating stroke, Nadine McKinnon is in need of our help to assist with massive medical bills not covered by our insurance. Please show your love to this inspirational woman and writer of our beloved classic. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for you and Nadine. Please contribute as your heart leads you. All donations are welcome. Go right now to the GoFundMe page for Nadine Scott McKinnon or head to the KBLA 1580 website. On behalf of KBLA Talk 1580, thank you in advance for doing your part to honor a true songwriting legend.
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
Merry Christmas.
Not they're jealous cause we be bailing with death row. They try to play a hate, but they can't fade us though. We be mobbing through the neighborhood, yeah, with that funky sound. We be throwing down.
This goes out to you, player. You know who you are. Gotta be careful, can't let the evil of the money trap me. So when you see me, you better holler at me. Gotta be careful, can't let the evil of the money trap me. So when you see me, you better holler at me. Gotta be careful, can't let the evil of the money trap me. When you see me, you better holler. Are you confused? You wonder how it feels to walk a mile inside the shoes of a nigga who don't have a thing to lose. Me and you was homies. No one before me, it was all a scheme. You infiltrated my team and sold the new games. How could you do me like that? I took the family in. I put some cash in your pocket, made you a man again. And now you let the fear put your hands in a place complicated to escape. It's a fool's fate.
Welcome into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, hour 3 is what we like to call the after hour. We get into topics that are a little bit more salacious, maybe a little bit more explicit, maybe.
Oh, is that what we doing?
I don't know. Not really. But usually we do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Kinda
Usually
just
we
happens,
do.
yeah.
That's just the way that we set it up. But there's not as many. Although I am going to give an update on the G League player that was arrested with his girlfriend for killing
That
the young
that 19-year-old girl?
Mm-hmm. There's an update. He confessed, and there's more details that have emerged from that. So we'll give those details. And as I mentioned, if you haven't...
You talked about this last night, right?
I did.
Yeah, I was listening when I was driving.
Appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait, what?
Take us with you on the go. So speaking of, if you haven't already, download the app, right? Because the Dr. Simone Married to Medicine interview will only be available audio only. It won't be on YouTube. So download the app where you can listen to it there, or you can go to the website and catch it there, or you can listen to it live on the radio. So just wanted to remind you of that. That's coming towards the end of the
Dr.
hour.
Simone.
She's so sweet.
So nice.
You know, we had a great conversation. So
she needed to be nice to her sons, though.
Yeah, we talked about that. We
She
definitely
needs to get off her
talked about
sons'
that.
head. These are some young black men in their 20s out here in a world that already does not help or cater to them, and she should really fall back and just chill to the next episode.
Okay, but you have heard the idea that, you know, and a lot of times women tend to coddle their son, or, you know, people in general coddle their sons and raise their daughters. So I think failure to launch is a real thing that can happen. And sometimes it's easy to get caught up in, well, I'm figuring it out. I like everything. Sometimes you have to dive in and then pull back.
And I'm glad that they have their father in their lives to advocate for them. And even watching the episode, he made a very, very valid point. He was like, you knew what you wanted to be at 10. And it's such a different world then versus now. Like,
Facts.
you knew what you wanted to be. Like, you could say, I wanted to be a doctor, and there was a clear trajectory to make that happen. The trajectory isn't so clear to make much happen anymore, other than let's take a picture and look cute and order this Grubhub. Like, what are these people aspiring for, and what are people really going to school for, other than like to be an attorney or a therapist or a doctor? Like, you really don't need to go to school for something other than for those things. So it's a different world.
It is. Let me ask you this, because I subscribe that one of the benefits, I don't know if it's still the same way, but one of the benefits I feel of college, and granted, you can certainly get this working on the job or really at any job, but is the ability to work together in concert on group projects, dealing with different personalities, the responsibility of maybe not necessarily having someone over your shoulder to tell you, when to turn something in, when to do things in that nature. Do you still see college as beneficial in those areas?
I went to college for different reasons. I went because I knew that I was a black male and that my chances of me excelling in the world would be better if I had this piece of paper behind my name or attached to my name in some form.
Mm-hmm.
I picked something that I was good at naturally. I went to school for journalism. I knew that's what I wanted to do when I was younger. Okay. So the world that I come from, there was a clear trajectory. Now, in my case, it got a little convoluted, by the time I got of age to actually go work, because you didn't need a degree to be a journalist anymore. Like, everybody was doing it because of the internet. So because of specifically what I wanted to do, it changed. So I had to change with that. Okay. Different world still. That people don't have that anymore. I think the only real value to school these days is the social aspect and the networking and knowing people, and sitting across from somebody who will potentially do something in 10 years to help you excel.
You don't think the interpersonal aspect is important, especially now with a generation that spends a lot more time isolated and not necessarily working together?
And here's my response to that. Technically, you should have learned that in high school, because it's the same thing.
Do you have as much individualism in high school as far as projects and as you do in college, where it's more focused and dialed down?
I felt that I did. Even I graduated from high school about 25 years ago. So I feel that, I still was an individual, and there still was, high school it was a little different for me, even 25 years. It started to get a little bit lax and change a little bit. So I think the social aspect you should have learned in high school, because it was just like college for me. It was like, girl, this is high school. Like,
but you went to a performing arts high school, so
that's
it's
true.
Different. So I feel like that's a different vibe and energy that was pushed through there.
And also, I went to 2 HBCUs, so it was also different from most experiences as well.
When we come forward, we're going to get into this Keefe D story, more trending topics, more headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Last minute shopping? Ulta Beauty has everything I need for everyone on my list. Ready to gift fragrance kits from YSL and Valentino, and the hottest gift sets from MAC, Tarte, and Lancome. Plus, everyone loves an Ulta Beauty gift card. Shop last-minute gifts that will bring joy to everyone on your list. Hurry in store or place your online pickup order today. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, Dwayne, Keefe D. Davis, right?
I'm like, who's that? Dwayne? Which one? Wade?
Martin, all of them.
Yeah,
No.
which one?
Keefe D. So he has said that, well, his lawyers, they claim that he should be released from prison, right? Well, he's in jail, I guess, technically. 'Cause he hasn't been prosecuted. He said that the prosecutor's filing that they didn't introduce any independent evidence, connecting Keefe D to the shooting, and that they used Dwayne's statements from his book, Compton Street Legend, as well as the various interviews he did with Vlad TV, The Art of Dialogue, etc., right? So he's filed this motion requesting that he be released under his own recognizance, under the condition that he'll wear an electronic monitoring system. And basically, they say that he's not a threat, nor is he a flight risk. And they feel the bail amount was excessive because it exceeded $100,000. He also is claiming that he has health issues in addition to this lack of concrete evidence.
Anybody who's living right now has health issues.
He says that, his lawyers claim that the claims made in his book and interviews were for entertainment purposes only. Why he felt it would be entertaining to say that he was in the car or handed the gun as
The same
murder
reason
weapon.
why you write a book called If I Did It.
So he says that the rest of the evidence is hearsay, and that the books and interviews conducted were just basically, he's saying he was lying for the financial benefit.
Just out here talking.
Yeah. He believed that he had immunity, so that's why he's saying he was lying.
There's
sense.
no immunity for murder.
Well, here's the thing. He was given immunity. He was given immunity
to snitch.
He was questioned, earlier on or whatever for certain details. So it's not quite true. He pled not guilty to 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon, but they're talking about when he was questioned back in 96, 97, when he initially was brought in. He says the truthfulness of the content of the interviews was never verified by anyone. he said that his client's actions were like great Kading. Kading was a former LAPD detective who investigated the deaths of Tupac and Biggie and released books and conducted interviews with many of the same outlets as Davis and also received compensation. He said the books and interviews were done for entertainment purposes and to make money and from a situation that Kading and others had already profited for. So he's saying, they did it, I did it too. And I was lying and putting on extras to get my paper. I think one.
So they're not gonna like find a way to like wrap this man up in perjury.
I mean, here's the thing. He's conducted several interviews. The interviews coincide with the statements that he has done. You know, like I said, with these various media outlets, there's probably some physical evidence that they recovered when they did those raids. He's cooked. He should have shut up.
Right.
He should have shut up. You wanting to be out there, like
they want to be famous.
You know, we see all these rappers now saying, back in the day, the thing was, yep, I lived everything in my raps. Even the guys that were lying about it because it created a certain image and it made them look a certain way. Once they started saying, okay, we believe you and we're going to stick to everything that you say and follow you till we can find a situation to whether real or fabricated, right? And get you in a twist. Why are you talking about what happened to snitches get stitches? And I'm not talking about telling on if you see a crime or whatever. I'm talking about this self-proclaimed snitching. What is wrong with you people? If you are getting away with all of these things and you are a mastermind and so dastardly, why is the first thing that you want to do to go and tell the world? And part two to that is, why is the public so gullible? And it's a catch-22 because we are seeing a lot of situations where people are coming forward years later. But let's ask some intelligent questions sometimes. Let's make sure the stuff matches up instead of just the desire to hear something salacious and scandalous and to be like, see, I knew it. I knew that person was a snake. You know, let's use some applied logic.
No, people don't think anymore. They like to be spoon-fed everything. They're not going to do research. Whatever people say is like, oh yeah, that's it. They're taking and run with it as like fact and true.
And the wronger, the more outrageous it is, the more likely it is to be believed.
Yes.
So, you know, I think homeboy is cooked, but what do I know? You know, I'm not a lawyer, nor do I play one on the radio or TV. But it just seems that you should have quit while you were ahead. But
and the way that these cases are going these days, honey, you could have a whole video running a marathon blocks from a crazy woman on the rampage and still get caught up in some mess.
So listen, I mean, you got to choose your conversations carefully.
Stay in the house and don't talk to nobody.
But they don't want to do that.
I love that. It is fun. Move with somebody that you like and spend time with.
I mean, he had a wife.
Again, spend time, live in the house with somebody that you like, so it won't be boring.
I don't know these people.
Or if you're gonna live in the house with somebody that you hate, make sure they're a hateful, exciting person.
But is it even that? Isn't it just the desire to be popular, the desire to you know be
my goal
popping.
is to be rich and married and in the house, cooking and doing it.
You're gonna be doing the cooking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If I ever get married.
Shout out to you. Well, listen, there are reports that are surfacing that Mariah Carey,
I love her
boyfriend of 7 years,
she should have never dated him.
Brian Tanaka.
That wasn't her boyfriend.
Split up.
That was a publicity stunt for 7 years.
Well, part of the reason why they allegedly broke up is because he wants kids, and Mariah's like, I'm cool, done with that phase of my life.
Yeah, because he's trying to stitch something up. He's a backup dancer, a stripper boy.
They are 14 years apart. He just turned 40. Mariah's 54. He wants to have a family. That's not where she's at, according to sources.
Is she 54?
This was on page 6. Yep.
Oh, so she's getting an ARP card next year. Get her 15% discount. I love it.
So, she has her 12-year-old twins, Rock and Row. And I'm sure if she wanted another kid, she'd just borrow one of Nick's.
No,
I'm joking.
she good.
She's good with her own. So I don't know. A lot of breakups, and
It's Mercury retrograde right now.
it's not even Mercury. Listen.
It's the year of exposing stuff that's built on shaky ground.
Because
That's
of the age of
yes.
Aquarius, but there also I can't. There's a certain transit that is happening that started in May, and on my astrology back really quickly. And so if you have a mutable Venus sign, right? Or you are a mutable sign and in a long-term relationship, there will be cause to re-examine the relationship, and lots of breakups are happening.
Oh, aren't they?
Listen, and some of the examples that I can give of
Mine,
relationships
me.
that could you.
Yeah.
We don't know details about that, but Cardi B and Offset,
Oh my God.
right? She's
Yeah.
a Libra, mutable sign.
Yeah.
They're involved in it. Tiana Taylor and Iman Shumpert.
Oh, Tiana.
There's a whole list that we have that
I love them so
I don't
much.
have tonight because I looked at a couple of things, but I didn't come prepared because I didn't know we were going to have an astrology conversation.
We
before the
always have an
holidays.
astrology conversation.
Right, but I didn't know that I was going to need my receipts because I like to come with receipts. I don't just like to say things. I like to come with facts.
Yes.
So that you can see for yourself and check it out. So I mentioned
You said a mutable sign, right?
mutable signs, yeah. So that's Gemini, that's Libra,
and
that
Aquarius.
is, yeah. There you go.
And my mutable sign is.
And maybe Sag?
No, it's not
No.
fixed.
Sag isn't fixed.
It's not.
No, it's mutable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, my Venus is in the mutable sign.
Okay, so
Aquarius, very detached in love.
There you go. Boom, boom, bam. So the formerly G League player Chance.
Oh my God.
Come on, Che. I mentioned his story last night. He has confessed to the murder of 23-year-old Mariana Rogers with she's not his girlfriend. She was a woman he had
Don't
met
sit up
on a
and tell
dating
me
app.
that they sitting up having sessions and girl, because if this is over some sex, I'm getting up and I'm walking out.
It's not.
Okay, good. I can sit down.
But Sakari, 19, and Mariana had some type of prior friendship relationship. Looks like they might have been, going on some dates together. Dates is another word that escorts use for
Oh, okay.
this
So
situations. Yeah.
what did you call it earlier? From the rap ish. What is it called? Scam and seduce.
Seduce and scheme.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like it involved a little bit of that. She went missing on December 5th in Vegas. She was from the Washington State area.
I know her
She
parents
was
are
a
somewhere
medical
sick.
assistant. And so according to reports, again, they were friends. Police found out that Sakari, the young girl, told friends that she wasn't feeling Mariana because she spoke to the police in LA about a missing Rolex. And it resulted in her boyfriend's arrest in a double murder case, a separate situation, right?
So he just going around town getting mad,
Listen,
killing
no,
everybody.
no. The NBA player was a different guy. Well, the G League player, I should say. He only played one game in the NBA. They met on a dating app about a year ago, and it hooked up a couple times and kept in contact. So they probably went on a date, right? Not sure, though. Just speculation. So what happened was she called her ex, which is Chance, and they two started planning to kill the young lady,
No.
right?
Mm-mm.
They
Stay in the
said
house.
that in a series of text messages, it revealed that the two were trying to get in a third party to help them, but it didn't pan out. The third party's name was Dre. So they came up with their own plan, and Chance was going to pose as a trick and was scheduled to meet up with Mariana under Sakari hooking it up. So she was acting as the liaison. Okay, so again, probably something that they had done prior, right? So part of the plan was that she was going to let him know she was going to let her know, that he was into kinky sex and wanted to tie both women up in the car because they were going on the date together, and you pay extra for extra things, right? So she reportedly was told
me up in a car.
that she would be making $1,000 for the meet and greet, and
to be tied up in a car, $1,000.
And I guess that would be a little bit extra.
Nah.
So he used.
Wait, let's pause. Like $1,000 to be tied up inside of a car. You're gonna have to give me $25,000 to tie me up in a car.
Well, apparently that was the right price.
No, it's not. You know what $1,000 is? That is a deposit. That's what that is. That is a Cash App deposit for me to show up.
So Chance used an HDMI cord to strangle her, and when he began strangling her, the other young lady joined in and strangled her as well, and they choked her. Then once she was unresponsive, they both checked her pulse to see that she was deceased. They then drove around until they found a spot in the desert and dumped her body. I was watching Cam and Mace discuss this, and Mace was like, you know what the problem is? They don't have God in their life. God is out of everything, and that's why we're seeing this. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I just recommended an HDMI cord to somebody on this show, and now people are being strangled with them. I don't like this at all. This is the reason why I just can't, and I won't. And I'm not, because you know what will happen? I would be in that courtroom every day, and I would listen.
As far as a family?
I would be in jail because I will wait until the last day acting real calm, and out of nowhere I would just get up and just slice his, like, just because what are you doing? Like, I will be somewhere livid. Horrible. And yeah, okay, God, whatever you believe. But this too, you know what this is? This is, and I'm going to say this very light because I don't want to blame the parents. But when you pay attention to what your kids are doing and you're actively involved and you give your kids attention, they don't have to seek it other places. This is lack of attention.
That is facts. Because here's the thing that I also mentioned. She was a medical assistant. She was making decent money.
Yeah. It's like, people this want to be seen for the gram, taking pictures and doing stuff like when is it gonna stop? Like, cause this is it is poison.
Listen, when we come forward, more trending topics and headlines. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580 News and Sports on the other side.
Someone gotta be careful, can't let the evil of the money trap me. So when you see the nigga, you better holler at me. You better beware where you lay. We better not find where you stay. Curious, spitting lyrics on the verge of furious. I'm addicted to currency making, that's why we doing this. Got set up, I surprised them seeing the way I got up, and then I hit the studio. It's time to blow the block up, no hesitation. This information got you contemplating, heartbreaking, eliminating with this conversation. Break them and let them see the face of a middle pace and a celebration. I'm a criminal elevation, more participation. I want members across the 50 states. We keep the nation anticipating until we break. Will I be great? Is it my fate to live a life of luxury? So taking on my tape, so much jealousy.
We hope you have a safe and relaxing holiday season.
Mask up and stay safe.
At KBLA Talk 1580,
we've got a lot to talk about.
And your voice is critical to all the conversation. Happy holidays.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A Chicago man whose murder conviction was recently overturned is free after spending more than 12 years behind bars. Darian Harris walked out of the Cook County Jail after prosecutors decided not to retry him in a deadly shooting at a Southside gas station in 2011. The decision comes after his conviction was based in part on the testimony of an eyewitness who turned out to be legally blind. Harris, who is black, has long maintained his innocence. One of the Trump co-defendants in Fulton County's election interference case is looking for a new legal team. WSB-TV reports lawyers for Trevion Cootie have filed the paperwork to withdraw as her attorneys. Cootie, a former publicist for Kanye West, is accused of trying to get a Georgia election worker to confirm former President Trump's voter fraud claims. No reason was given for the attorney's move to withdraw from the case. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The Accident Guys have helped over 5,000 injured clients with an impressive winning record.
It's the gift-giving season, and we have a gift for you. Visit us online at KBLA.store for holiday savings of 20% off all of our KBLA swag. For the best in merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store right now. And be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all our official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580, at 20% off, but only during the holiday season. Happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the AmeriCAN Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the AmeriCAN program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. It is December 20th, 5 days until Christmas. Are you rocking out to your Christmas songs? I mean, that is definitely on the list. Let It Snow. Obviously, Temptations' Silent Night. Obviously, Donny Hathaway. Obviously, Mariah Carey. You got to have that on there. Santa Baby, Eartha Kitt version, please.
Ella Fitzgerald, Sleigh Ride.
Okay. Andy.
TLC.
TLC,
Yes.
that's a great one.
Have a very
Outcast
merry-
Players, was it called Players Ball? Yeah, Players Ball. That was on the TLC So Death Christmas album. So that is, it's beginning to look a lot like what? Follow my every. It's a Christmas song.
My favorite Christmas song.
Oh,
of
and
all
New
time
Edition, Christmas All Over the World.
is The Boys' Christmas Cheer.
Don't be 2K on there.
Judo. All right. I mean, listen, what is the song? There's a song by Merry Christmas, Baby, Charlie Brown. I think that's his name. So look good to me. And it has the guitar. Dun, 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 dun. It's amazing. It's an old school song, too. It's like a jazz blues song, Christmas song. So, in theory, I love Christmas time. I love the music. I love the decorations.
Me too.
Obviously, I'm in the spirit and I'm quite festive. I participate. That is the thing. You got any big plans for Christmas?
No, just to be asleep.
Just to be
And
asleep?
I don't. You know, I had this very ambitious goal to go back to Chicago to visit my grandmother, and my aunt was betting against me the whole time. She's like, "You ain't coming back for Christmas," you know, and I'm probably not gonna get on the plane.
It's cold.
It's not snowing though, so that's a good thing.
Still cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. The airports are gonna be crowded.
But I might change my mind and go. I'm gonna decide Saturday morning.
You still got time.
I definitely do.
Get the hot cocoa going.
Yeah, I have
Leave
some.
Santa some cookies.
Yeah, and I like because Delta, they're very kind to me. They just let me fly whenever I feel like it, so I can just show up at the airport and just give me a seat. Come on.
That means you fly a lot.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, if you haven't already, make sure that you download the app or you are locked into the KBLA website, because coming up we have an interview with Dr. Simone Whitmore of Married to Medicine. She joined the show, I think she said, in season 5, I believe. So she and her husband Cecil are the longest running couple on the franchise. And we had a really...
Not Toya and Eugene?
No.
They came before then? She was one of the original people with Carrie and...
I don't know if she was on the original, but,
Yeah, I watched from the start.
You just watched it from the very start. I was late to the party, but for a lot of fans, they seem to feel as though it has overtaken the Real Housewives franchise, the two big ones, Atlanta and Potomac, as interesting TV.
Only because most of the cast members have remained consistent, and they've had some changes, but not too much to the point where people stopped watching. It got a little boring for me at a certain point, and then they tried to spin it off to Married to Medicine LA and
I watched some of LA. Yeah. A couple of the doctors. I interviewed some of the people. A couple of the doctors actually lived in my neighborhood.
I was about to say, a couple of doctors.
I appreciate one of the things Dr. Simone mentions in this interview. She talked about the fact that you get to see real doctors and real Black doctors in relationships. And that is, I know we talk a lot about reality TV, and I have my mixed opinions about it. Sometimes I love it for the trashiness. Sometimes I wish there was, better versions. But everything goes through an evolution process. But I do appreciate, especially that they are female Black doctors. I like seeing the men too, both, because we know that it's less than 1% of doctors are Black, African American, specifically, if we're talking about it. So I do appreciate the representation from that aspect, and
Yes, actually, Simone, she's my favorite on the show.
Okay.
Totally.
Like that.
Yeah, because she's to me the most grounded. She's my favorite. The Heavenly, though, she's got to turn. She is certainly taking up the Nene Leakes banner. Yeah,
right?
But towards the Omarosa spectrum, because she's just some of the stuff that Heavenly, I'd be like, really? Are we doing this? I would hate to be related to you. I would hate to be your child, because I would give you the heat.
Listen, when we come forward, we're going to have more trending topics and headlines. We're going to have our interview with Dr. Simone Whitmore from Married to Medicine.
Yes.
So stay locked in.
Infusing us into fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar,